Hello, what's up fellow hunters? Welcome to a less than 5-minute review on the Monster Hunter Wilds beta. Let's get right into it. Starting with the good stuff, character customization had a really big range, loved to see it. I spent at least 40 minutes creating my character, which is hysterical because this is the beta, and I'm not going to have them in the main game, but alas, I like to look pretty. Speaking of looking pretty, have you met our two new NPC companions, Gemma and Alma, aka Wifey and Mommy? Now you can laugh at me all you want. Alma comes with us on all our adventures, is constantly bringing us stuff, sits with us when we need to have food, and is overall just a lovable part of the game. And sitting back at home, we got Mommy, who's quietly waiting there for us to come back so she can make sure that we wear a stylish jacket on our next adventure. Capcom never fails to make Monster Hunter food look amazing. The detail of allowing you to change your ingredients and have that actually be reflected in the animation was such a nice little detail that they added in, and I really loved that. After trying all the weapons, here were my takeaways. Every weapon feels fun. There wasn't a single weapon that I picked up and went, wow, this feels really bad. I thought focus mode added personality to the weapons and was an overall non-invasive addition to the gameplay. It felt very natural in combat. Speaking of natural in combat, there were some overhauls made to a couple of the weapons and a lot of tweaks made to pretty much all of the weapons. I don't personally think that any of the changes made to any of the weapons were bad. I thought Gunlance felt amazing. I thought Insect Glaive felt very good despite not having the aerial bounce. I loved the changes to the Hunting Horn and the additions to Charge Blade to just make it easier, but also harder to get certain buffs. I thought was just a really nice and interesting concept. It changes the way the weapons play a little bit, kind of makes you need to readjust, and it gave a little bit of a fresh feel to a bunch of weapons that I previously didn't even like. Overall, I loved how fluid they made the game. Being able to just call your secret, swap weapons mid-fight, finish a fight, and then just jump from monster to monster, to be able to put your food up and pop up tempts all over the map. It was such a great experience having this almost completely open world for you to do whatever you want in. It was very refreshing. Alright, now that I told you about all the things I loved about the game, let's talk about some of my nitpicks/gripes. A lot of people had performance issues. I personally had zero issues running the game in the ultra settings. I did have some small issues with textures not loading and lighting being a little off, and this was regardless of what graphic settings I had applied. I actually think the game performed better on most people's PCs than we were actually expecting, so I'll take that as a bonus despite all of the issues that did arise and a couple of the weird little stutters. It is a beta after all. I'll give Capcom the benefit of the doubt, let them optimize and work out some of those kinks. I felt like the monsters moved around way too much on the map. It really interrupted the pacing of a fight when you just constantly had to pack up Call Your Secret and chase it again. Sometimes they would only move like 10 feet away too. It was just overall kind of weird, and I hope that they tune that back a little bit during the actual release. Something I loved was the pop-up camps and how easy it was to put them down and just fast travel in between them. I personally hated how quickly they could be knocked down, and I understand that you just have to relocate and pick locations that don't have monsters spawning around them, but in my opinion, I wanted to put a pop-up camp there so that I could fast travel closer to a monster's location. It was just a little irritating for me. Some people really liked how easy the monsters knocked them over. I didn't. That's a personal gripe, I guess. Lastly, I want them to make it so you can automatically have the party link and the environment link synced up as soon as you join. Having it as 2 buttons is totally fine. I just think that you could have it as one and avoid a secondary step. Really small nitpick on my part. Overall, I thought that the Monster Hunter Wilds beta was a great showcase of what Wilds is going to be capable of doing. I think we just got the smallest taste of everything that we have in store for us, and I'm really excited to play come February. But until then, happy hunting everyone!